The Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple Labs are in a complicated court battle known as Ripple vs. The cryptocurrency Ripple is making people question the experts' conclusions and raises worries about the release of financial data to the public. The Securities and Exchange Commission, on the other hand, has labeled Fox's statement as routine evidence even though it is professional testimony that could have important legal effects. Ashley Prosper, who is one of the main people involved in the ongoing disagreement, has been bringing up the fact that Judge Torres hasn't made a decision yet. In the Ripple vs. CC case, the only thing that needs to be settled is whether Judge Netburn will name Andrea Fox as an expert witness or a summary witness. Because Fox said something, Prosper thinks it could open a can of worms that would make things worse. Most of the time, it takes Magistrate Sarah Netburn about a month to make a ruling on a minor motion, so she could make her choice at any time. On the other hand, should any of the parties fail in their appeal against Netburn's decision, Judge Torres may have to delay making his final decision. Prosper doesn't think the court will go against Fox's statement, even though she is called an expert witness. Fox is an expert, but lawyers Bill Morgan and Jeremy Hogan agree that Ripple will still be able to challenge her evidence. Fox's comment is needed to make a decision, and it could change Ripple's sentence. A lot of the time, Judge Torres will wait to make her final ruling public until she hears from Magistrate Netburn. Should the Securities and Exchange Commission decide to ignore Fox's statement, the judge may limit what else it can do. When Ripple, a Bitcoin exchange, sold XRP in late 2020, the Securities and Exchange Commission said it was breaking securities laws. An important step forward was made in July when a deal was made for the sale of XRP on platforms. However, Ripple and the SEC are still fighting in court. Still, the fight over sales to schools drags on, putting off the legal battle. Stuart Alderardi, who is the chief legal officer of Ripple, really doesn't like Gary Gensler, who is the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. This action shows how much is at stake for Ripple and the Bitcoin market as a whole, as well as how things are getting more tense as the lawsuit goes on. The Ripple case has been used as an example for Us.Swap in its court case with the SEC, which specifically asked questions about what airdrops are. This means that the Ripple problem isn't just affecting the people who are directly involved in it. Bill Morgan, an XRP supporter, said that airdrops are not financial contracts and that some of the tokens that are given out are not securities. Tokens on their own, but some that are sold are securities because of the way they were sold. The case is more important because this legal fight is happening at the same time as the Ripple case. A lot of people in the cryptocurrency market are very interested in the results of this investigation because the Securities and Exchange Commission has been criticized for how it plans to control digital assets. Since the Securities and Exchange Commission questioned Ripple's request to hide and redact certain material, the current legal battle over cryptocurrency has become more serious. In fact, on May 21st, the Securities and Exchange Commission said that Ripple was breaking the Constitution by trying to keep the public from knowing about financial and security trades. The governing body has said that the information Ripple is trying to hide is important for the court to make its ruling. Discounts for big investors, sales numbers, and financial details are all in this data. They also stressed how important it was to have this information in order to understand the fines and solutions that apply. Ripple says that the Fox Declaration is professional testimony that has important law implications, but the SEC says that it is just ordinary evidence. Ashley Prosper is a major figure in the ongoing case between Ripple Labs and the SEC, and watchers have had heated debates about her recent news. In the case of Ripple vs. SEC, Judge Netburn needs to decide if Andrea Fox is an expert witness or a summary witness. Only then can Judge Torres make her final ruling. Judge Torres can't decide the Ripple vs. Ripple combined sealing case because of a problem that Ashley Prosper is bringing to their attention. Prosper says the only thing stopping them is the Magistrate Sarah Netburn's choice. Ripple still sees Fox's statement as an expert witness, even though it wasn't given during the discovery part of the remedies process. But the Securities and Exchange Commission says Fox is just a brief witness and not using past events to help the judge understand Ripple's financial records. Prosper thinks that the case can move forward if Fox is taken seriously as an expert witness. Given that Magistrate Netburn usually takes about a month to make decisions on small moves, it is possible that she could make her choice at any time. If anyone appeals Netburn's decision, Judge Torres may have to delay making his final decision before Judge Torres can make her final ruling in the case of Ripple vs. SEC. Judge Netburn has to decide if Andrea Fox is an expert witness or a summary witness. Ashley Prosper is bringing up a problem that is stopping Judge and Judge Torres from making a decision in the joint sealing case between Ripple and Ripple. Prosper says the ruling of the judge, Sarah Netburn, is the only thing that is stopping them. Ripple still sees Fox's statement as an expert witness, even though it wasn't given during the discovery part of the remedies process. On the other hand, the Securities and Exchange Commission says Fox is just a brief witness who is telling the judge about past events to help them understand Ripple's financial records. Prosper thinks that the case can move forward if Fox is taken seriously as an expert witness. Given that, Magistrate Netburn usually takes about a month to make decisions on small moves. It is possible that she could make her choice at any time. If anyone appeals Netburn's decision, Judge Torres may have to delay making his final decision. Prosper thinks it's unlikely that the court will not accept what Fox says if she is called as an expert witness. Jeremy Hogan and Bill Morgan, Ripple's lawyers, have decided that Fox's evidence will be kept, but Ripple will still have the chance to refute it. Your final choice won't be made until Fox speaks out, which we could also change Ripple's sentence. It's likely that Judge Torres will wait to make her final decision until Magistrate Netburn has done so, by giving away XRP. The Securities and Swap Commission, the agreement that was made in July to deal with the problem, was one reason why the XRP swap sales went somewhat well. Ripple and the SEC have been in a court battle for a long time. The debate about sales to organizations is still going on. Stuart Alderode, the chief legal officer of Ripple, has made it clear how much he hates Gary Gensler, chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The action shows how hostile the Ripple case and the Bitcoin market as a whole are becoming and how much is at stake. It is not often that a presidential candidate or a current president threatens to veto legislation about the Securities and Exchange Commission or names the chair by name. This case shows how the SEC is being used for political purposes. US Swap has used the Ripple case as a guide in its court battle with the SEC, which specifically asked questions about the nature of airdrops. This means that the Ripple problem isn't just affecting the people who are directly involved in it. A supporter of XRP named Bill Morgan said that airdrops are not business contracts, even though some tokens are sold and some are given away. The fact that this legal conflict is happening at the same time shows how the Ripple case has wider effects as well. A lot of important people in the Bitcoin business are paying close attention to how this lawsuit turns out. On May 21st, the Securities and Exchange Commission filed a challenge to Ripple's request to redact and seal specific content. Bitcoin, the regulatory body, said that Ripple's request to hide details about financial and securities dealings from the public was illegal, saying that the information is needed to understand the consequences and possible solutions to the problem. They decided that this was enough proof because Ripple hadn't given enough reasons for why telling the public about this information would be very bad. You should not use the information on this website as trading advice. If you decide to buy based on the information on this website, you do so at your own risk. Before deciding to invest, it is strongly suggested that you do your own study and talk to an expert in the field.